Hi, thanks for joining me with Pawanmuktasana Series II. This practice is mostly supine, meaning on our backs. So find a firm surface for your posture and with support. So some cushion for your spine, all the little bony points that come in contact with the floor. You may also want an extra blanket for a couple moments. We'll be rolling on the spine. You really want to offer it extra protection. We're going to start in seated. Come on back to a cushion or a rolled up blanket on top of your space. Pawanmuktasana means wind relieving, and the 3 series work different exercises to offer freedom of movement, removal of obstacles and blockages, and clearer energy to the point of focus for that particular series. Series 1 offers rheumatic freedom through working the joints. Series 2 is going to focus on the abdomen, relieving the wind for a couple of reasons. And one is strength and relief, and the other one is digestive processes and proper function. So you can imagine we'll be using our abdomen quite a bit, and you want to make sure that you haven't eaten a full meal recently, as this could cause some discomfort. And we really want to have 2 areas of focus for this practice. The first one being, of course, the abdominal region. So the main stabilizer here is the transverse abdominis, which is this giant cummerbund of a muscle that wraps around almost to the spine, just a little bit on either side of the spine. So it's not a complete closure, but it does reach from the top of your pelvis to the bottom of your rib cage, and it is the innermost muscle of the abdomen, and it's going to offer you stability when you're sitting, when you're moving, and it's going to hold in all of your organs. It's already doing these things without you thinking, but it's an awareness muscle. So the more awareness that you offer, the more you enhance its strength and its function. Since it's a little bit tough to tap into, we're going to offer a couple of exercises just for tuning in. But before we do that, we're using this awareness as a basis for contrast between ease and effort. And so we find ourselves a balance. We're able to shift between 2 contrasting activities, effort and ease. And maybe I had them backwards. And you can see that in our practice, we are able to enhance this skill so that we can apply it in everyday life. For instance, when we go through a stressful moment, we can use the contrast, which is relaxation and calm, and we are able to shift between the 2 in the moment. And this builds resilience as well as coming back to homeostasis and getting out of stress quicker and out of a moment of effort when you don't need it. Might come in handy for comfort as well as your health. We'll start, we're in seated. You can be in a variation of easy pose or hero pose. And with your hands on your knees, take a nice breath. We're just going to ground into this space, into this moment. And let the points of contact with the earth grow heavy, melt down. And let the parts of you reaching towards the sky be light and full of energy. And let the breath flow gently between the 2, earth and sky. Perhaps you're feeling on each inhale a release of effort as the air is given room to expand into your abdomen, to your lungs, to your chest. And on the exhale, there's a natural contraction as everything comes back together. The respiratory diaphragm moves up to help push the air out of the lungs. And it naturally contracts on the inhale to allow the air to come back in and fill that space. And perhaps you know there's another diaphragm muscle down by the pelvic floor at the base of the pubic bone. And this moves in time with the respiratory diaphragm. So each time you inhale, it naturally moves down and spreads apart to create room for the organs that are moving down as the respiratory diaphragm pushes them down to make room for the air. And then naturally comes back up, and it holds in all of our reproductive organs and or organs of excretion. And so it's very important to be able to release and contract when the time is appropriate. So on the inhale, everything releases, makes space, grow big. And on the exhale, a natural, gentle contraction, the pelvic floor and the respiratory diaphragm. And then that giant transverse abdominis in the middle. So focus on that on your next few breaths. Inhaling and letting everything loose and expand. And exhaling, let everything contract and gently come back together, feeling the structure and support of the two diaphragms and the transverse abdominis. Our first exercise is going to be a kapalabhati breath work or pranayama. And it's going to get us in tune with the respiratory muscles down by the belly. So you might want to put your hand just below, on or below your belly button. And for a couple of breaths, just feel its movement. It should push out towards your hand on the inhale and come back in towards your spine on the exhale. That's the natural movement of the abdomen and the diaphragm and the lungs. Is out on the inhale, back in on the exhale. Kapalabhati or shining skull is a forceful exhale and a passive inhale. So when we forcefully push the air out, that natural reaction is to allow the air to come back in, hence our survival. And I'll show you a couple and then we'll do 3 rounds together. We're going to do this very gently, slowly, because this is to cause awareness, to be mindful. And later you can bring in more force to strengthen the abdomen and to get more benefit or a different experience out of the breath. So we'll start with a nice deep inhale. Maybe your spine lengthens as you bring the breath in. And a full but gentle exhale. Feel everything coming back towards center line. And now we'll take about a 3/4 breath in of what you just did. And the exhale will look like this. Maybe you can see that the exhale is out the nose, and I just allow the inhale to come back in. We're going to do 10 of these in one round. Take a nice deep breath. And a gentle full exhale. And a 3/4 breath to begin. And then return to a normal inhale and exhale. I forgot to mention you might want a tissue or a Kleenex handy. It does clear the pathways as well as create a mental clarity. Take another deep breath in. We're going to do 12 on this next round. And a full, complete, gentle exhale. Feel everything come back towards center line with a little effort. And now inhale 3/4 of a breath and begin. And return to normal. That heart rate come back to normal. Let the breath return to homeostasis. And our last round, take a nice full inhale. A full exhale. We're going to do 15. If there's any pain or discomfort, make it more gentle, or you can, of course, just continue to breathe normally. Inhale 3/4 and begin. And release. Come back to a normal breath. Feel any adjustments you might have made in your posture, as this does use a lot of muscles. And just notice what may have happened, your journey. This breath is truly different each time you try it. Again, not to be done on a full stomach. Great. Now we're going to come down onto our backs to begin the Pawanmuktasana Series II. I'd like us to start in Shavasana, our ultimate homeostasis. So this is our restore and repair. So your feet are out to the corners of your mat, and toes flop out to the sides. Arms about 45 degrees from the body with the palms face up. Find support for all of the curves of your spine, whether that's moving the sits bones down towards your feet, moving the flesh of your rump. And the shoulder blades can come in towards center line and down towards the pelvis. This creates opening in the chest. And find a comfortable position for your chin so that your neck is well supported. And your breath is slow and gentle, about the quietest that it gets. And here you can count the breath in and out. Maybe your exhale is a little bit longer than your inhale, but determine a cadence. So maybe you have a count in of 6 and a count out of 6 or 7. Notice the heart rate, the backside of the body melting into the mat. The shoulders are heavy. The pelvis is heavy. And remember that count. You might use it again. And now we want to bring the feet together, arms down at our sides. Bring the toes towards the ceiling and imagine an imaginary floor beneath the surface of your feet. And just with your mind's eye, allow all the points of contact at the bottoms of your feet to match with that imaginary floor. Engage the legs and the abdominals, the transverse abdominis, as you might have felt on an exhale. Bring it all together to adjust the length of the low spine. Make it long. The shoulders are away from the ears, and there's a stretch down through the fingertips. You can lay your palms flat on the floor. You can also put them at your side. If you can imagine, we're coming into a mountain pose. We'll call this mat mountain. You can tuck your chin towards your chest just to get length in your neck. So the crown of the head is reaching towards your imaginary sky. The real engagement here is pretend that a giant is picking you up and you want to maintain this position. But don't overdo it. We don't want to get too tense. We just want to be aware. Now find a new rhythm for your breath, a new cadence, where your relaxation might have been 6 counts in and 6 counts out. Create an ujjayi breath with 3 or 4 counts in and 3 or 4 counts out. So you can imagine we're constricting the back of our throat, creating a little heat, a little resistance, a little focus. And we're making it just a little bit faster so that we can integrate it into movement. So cultivate that breath, the awareness of your posture in that mountain. And we're going to begin with some leg lifts, starting on the left side, using that transverse abdominis to lift the leg. Take the strain out of the leg muscles. Of course, your legs are going to be active, but the more that you engage that transverse abdominis, the more you can tune in, the more it does the work. So take a breath, like ujjayi. And on your next inhale, take your left leg, keep it straight and lift it only as high as it goes. Staying straight, and exhale, lower it back down. We're going to do 6 of these. Don't quite let your heel touch, and inhale, draw it back up. Tune in with that transverse abdominis. Keep the shoulder blades close or next to the earth. Think about the posture of the rest of your body. How much can you use the core of your body to lift the leg? One more. Let the left leg land next to the right. Come back to your mat mountain. Your ujjayi breath of 3 or 4 counts on each inhale and each exhale. Feel your heart rate return to normal. Relax the shoulders away from the ears and prepare for the right side. On the next inhale, lift the right leg using the core of your body. The focus on the leg is to keep it straight, to move it slowly and smoothly, and only take it as high as your core and the back muscles of your leg will let you, right? So if it's only 45 degrees, that's okay. If it's only 30, it's fine. Is your entire pelvis connected to the earth? Backside of the pelvis. Are you even on both sides? Let's do one more. Return to your mat mountain. Engage in Ujjayi breath and feel the heart rate slow with each breath. If you have to increase the inhale and exhale to bring more oxygen in, please do. Knowing that you can come back to that lower count. It just means that our lungs are adjusting to the activity. You might want to bring your hand underneath your cheeks, lower cheeks, because we're going to lift both legs at the same time. And here we're only going to do 3. So place your awareness into the palms of your hands and your shoulders. Come back to your Ujjayi breath. On the inhale, we're going to lift both legs, again, keeping them long and straight. Keeping that Ujjayi breath to control, focus the energy. And that transverse abdominis is doing the bulk of the work. Let your feet come back to the mat. Release the hands. And now we'll go straight into our Shavasana, finding homeostasis. The breath easily becomes smoother and longer, gentle. Feel the heart rate lower. Feel the backside of your body melting into the mat. And then return to your mat mountain, legs come together, arms at your side, palms down or facing your thighs, and let your fingers point down towards your toes. Create a little stretch through your arms and your fingers. We're going to draw circles with our legs now, so keeping them straight. Tune into that transverse abdominis. Really allow it to do the work. On an inhale, lift the left leg and begin to circle up one way or the other to the top. And exhale back down to center. We're going to do 3 each direction. Inhale, draw a circle up, big or small as you need to. Exhale back down. Inhale back up. Let everything be stabilized by that core of your body. In reverse direction. Inhale back up. Exhale around. Inhale up. Hopefully you feel a difference in the amount of work your leg would normally do to the amount it's doing, because you've really tuned in with that core stabilizer in the center of your body. And as you lower, come back to your mat mountain. Engage the bottoms of the feet, the shoulders away from the ears, your Ujjayi breath. Find your homeostasis. And prepare for the right leg. On your inhale, you're going to lift it up and circle it to one side, up to center top. Exhale back around. Where is your chin? How is the alignment of your neck? At the bottom of this circle, reverse direction. Bring it back up. Let that Ujjayi breath nourish the transverse abdominis as it does the front of the work here. And then lower back into your mat mountain. And back to center, both in your mind and your body. Ujjayi breath for counts of 3 or 4. Notice what's going on inside of your body on each breath. And once again, bring your palms beneath your cheeks for support, as we're going to be doing both legs in a circle together, 3 in each direction. So when you're ready, come back to cultivating your Ujjayi breath. That constriction as though you're making the sound of the ocean on each inhale and exhale, yet you're breathing through your nose. And on your next inhale, swoop up both legs, keep the feet together as you draw circles. Exhale back down. Inhale up. And exhale down. Make your circles as big or small as you need to maintain your composure and emotion. Now reverse direction and inhale back up. Maybe you feel a little movement in your belly. Not just the muscles, but the organs doing their job. Make your way back onto the mat, the floor, and come out to Shavasana, the contrast, effort into ease. Allow as much tension as you can to be released on each exhale as the Ujjayi breath is released. The breath becomes smooth, slow, and gentle. The shoulders relax towards the floor, towards your pelvis. The pelvis relaxes, the thighs relax, the jaw and the tongue relax. And the heart begins to relax. The lungs begin to relax. Now we move center line again. Back to our mat mountain. Cultivate Ujjayi breath. Find connection through the bottoms of the feet into your imaginary floor. And come to attention through the legs, pelvis, abdominals, chest, shoulders, down through the fingers, up through the crown of the head. Maybe you tuck in the chin. And your breath comes to that 3 or 4 counts in, 3 or 4 counts out. Really, it's whatever works for you in these exercises. It might change from day to day. You might find something that you can stick with for a while. Now we're going to have the fun part. We're going to ride the bicycle. If you bring the left knee to the chest, don't grab it, you just let it hinge, I guess. And on an inhale, we're going to lift and push that foot towards the sky. And as we exhale, it comes towards the floor, right knee comes towards the chest. Just a long, drawn out way of saying, let's start riding, start pedaling. And now we inhale, lift the right leg, and exhale, the left knee comes in. Inhale, switch. Exhale, switch. Keep going. Moving with the breath, coordinating the pedals, getting some neat movement through the knees and the hips, and also some rhythm between the movement and the breath. Two more breaths. And bring both knees into the chest. You can grab them if you want, rock from side to side, or simply focus on your ujjayi breath and your heart rate. Or just the beating of the heart. You don't have to actually monitor the rate to notice a change. You can feel the intensity. You can get a sense of its rhythm. And now we're going to do both legs together. No, we're not. We're going to reverse direction. We're going to pedal backwards. So on an inhale, take the left leg, push it down across the floor. And as it comes up to the ceiling, the right leg pushes across the floor. And exhale. And then switch and inhale. Switch and exhale. Find your own rhythm, your own movement. Keep the shoulders down towards the pelvis. Relax the jaw. Use that transverse abdominis. Two more breaths. And bring the knees to the chest. Again, you can hug it for a release or simply monitor the inner workings of your body as you lie on the floor and breathe. Now, after two more breaths, we're going to do both legs together. Again, keeping the feet together and pushing the pedals at your own rate, just coordinating with the breath. When you're ready, you can start in the forward or the backwards motion. We're going to do 3 in each direction. So inhale and extend the legs. And exhale, bring them back in towards the chest. Using the core muscle of your body as a primary mover or stabilizer in this case. And then reverse direction on the next breath. Let the breath guide your motions. And the core stabilize your being. And from here, come right out into a Shavasana. Pausing here to restore and revitalize. Allow the backside of the body to sink down towards the surface beneath you. Do a quick scan of the body from the toes all the way up, through limbs, through the core, through your neck and your head, offering soothing and peace to any places of tension or obstruction. Letting the breath be smooth. And long. A longer exhale will immediately allow your relaxation system, the parasympathetic nervous system, to engage, lowering the heart rate and blood pressure, calming the nerves and signals from the brain to the body and back. And now, coming back to center line, we're going to be rolling around on our spine a little bit. So you may want to grab a blanket just for a little cushion along the spine. And come back onto your back. Bring your knees to your chest. You can engage Ujjayi breath. As long as you're staying in tune with the breath, use what works for you. Try to make it even and controlled. With the fingers clasped around the shins, we're going to breathe in the center and breathe out, rocking to your left side, coming onto your elbow and pausing on the out breath for just a moment before pushing yourself back up on the inhale and over to your right on the exhale, pausing on your elbow at the out breath for a second and back up. For 2 more breaths, exhaling over and pausing and inhaling back up. So we can feel there's a nice little roll along the low back and the spine. And this sort of motion very much helps us with our digestion. And back up. Great. Pause here for just a moment. Cultivate that Ujjayi breath. Now grab behind the knees. And we're going to do some rocking and rolling along our spine. Some things to keep in mind. We're going to keep the nose towards the knee so that as you roll back towards your head, you don't hit your head on the ground. So when you're ready, you can kind of get some momentum by bringing your feet up and then kicking forward. About 3 times, moving with the breath. Inhaling back and exhaling forward. And once more. And come back down. Find your mat mountain. Engage the bottoms of your feet. Arms alongside, fingers at attention. Let the Ujjayi breath fill and engage your abdominals. Filling on the inhale, engaging on the exhale. And this is going to be the Pawanmuktasana pose of the Pawanmuktasana series. And so there's one pose dedicated to wind relieving of the system, and this is it. All the rest is is a generic wind relieving exercise series, but this one pose is very dedicated to relieving wind from the abdominal area. So keep that in mind. If you ever want to isolate this one pose, sitting on the floor while you're watching TV, if you think you want to move through this, you can do this. It's very simple, but there's a couple things to keep in mind. And one is to always start on the right side. So always use the right knee first, because it moves in line with the motion of digestion, which the large intestine comes up the right side, across the midsection, and down the left side, and that promotes elimination. So you don't want to go the opposite way if you're trying to help things out. All right, we're going to come back to our Ujjayi breath. Inhale, 3 or 4. Exhale, 3 or 4. Bring that right knee in towards your chest and clasp the fingers around the shin. You can bring it in fairly tight, out towards your shoulder, or just in towards just alongside. Take a nice deep breath in, maybe now to a count of 7. Nice and full, the belly and the chest, front and back and sides all fill up. And when you've reached your limit, begin to exhale. Draw the nose towards the knee and the knee towards the nose. You're at least counting to 7, maybe more, because you want all that wind out of your system. And at the base of your exhale, hold the breath out for 3 counts. And then release everything back into your mat mountain. Engage your Ujjayi breath and your original rhythm. And then bring the knee back in, fingers around the shin. Draw it up a little bit closer if you can. And inhale, count of 7. Let the whole torso fill with the air. Reverse direction and exhale everything out as your knee and your nose come towards each other. So really expelling the air, bringing everything in close. And at the end of the exhale, hold your breath out for 3 to 5 counts. Hold but don't strain. And then release back, mat mountain. Original Ujjayi breath. Let everything settle back into homeostasis. And one more time. Right knee to the chest or shoulder. Take a nice deep breath. Count to 7. Fill everything. And exhale, nose to knee and knee to nose. Let it all out and hold now for 3 to 7 counts. And return to your mat mountain. Take an extra breath here. Tune in to the alignment of your body. The center line of the body. And now bring the left knee to the chest or shoulder. Clasp the fingers around the shin. And keep the right foot at attention. And inhale to a count of 7. And as you begin to exhale, the knee and nose come together. Feel everything empty out of your abdominal and midsection. You can really come into a tight ball and hold the out breath for about 3 counts. And release. Mat mountain. Let your mind follow the breath. Draw the left knee in. You can try a different spot this time. If it was at your chest, you can try your shoulder, somewhere in between. Take a nice inhale to a count of 7. Begin to exhale. Let everything out. Nose towards knee and knee towards nose. And hold it out for a count of 3 to 5. Gently release back to your mountain pose. Come back to your breath of 3 or 4 counts. And draw the left knee to your chest one more time. Inhale to a count of 7 or to capacity. Exhale, nose to knee, knee to nose. Let everything out. Feel how everything shifts around this emptying. And at the bottom, hold for a count of 3 to 8. And return to your mat mountain. Now come out to a Shavasana for a restorative moment. Let the breath be smooth, gentle, and long. Let the muscles release tension. Work your way back to center. Find your mat mountain and your Ujjayi breath. And bend your knees. Place your feet on the floor, very close to your being, so that both feet are still comfortable on the floor. Use your arms to come out to a T. Palms face down. I don't quite reach the floor, but the shoulders want to stay in contact with the floor. Your feet want to stay together. And come back to your Ujjayi breath. As you inhale, knees are at center. And exhale, feet stay together, knees come to the left. And at the base of your exhale, hold here for about 3 counts. And then inhale back up to center. As you can imagine, knees come to the right. And as this happens, you can look to your opposite side. And then inhale back up to center. With the cat once in. Bring your feet away from you about 1 foot's length. Inhale here. Exhale, knees to the left. You can look to the right and hold it out for about 3 counts. Inhale back up to center. Exhale to the right. You can look to the left and hold here for about 3 counts. Inhale back up to center. And on this breath, you're going to put your feet away even further. Keeping them together. Inhale. Exhale to the left. Look to the right. Hold for 3 counts on the out breath. Inhale back up. Exhale, knees to the right. Look left. Hold for 3 counts. Inhale up and work your way into a mat mountain, holding here for a couple of breaths. And now, bringing the left foot on or near your right thigh. Avoid the knee. Bring your left arm out to your half T. And just staying in tune with the breath, we're going to take the right hand and push the knee over to your right. So this is a reclined twist. It's a universal twist. Keep the left shoulder engaged with the floor. You're twisting the low back and the hips. And on the way, the hip, if it comes with any pain, please come to a twist, a spinal twist that you are comfortable with. But if you're maintaining this, know that it can realign your hip into the socket and all the benefits of the spinal twist. So here, stay in tune with the breath. You're somewhat engaged and also somewhat relaxed. You can use your right hand to massage your thigh out. You can experiment with where you want your head to be so you can get different twists in your neck. You can roll it from side to side, or you can just pick one spot and stay there for a breath or two before moving to the next spot. You can always just keep it center. 2 more breaths in a universal spinal twist. Gently bring that knee back up. Left foot meets the right. Back to your mat mountain. Cultivate your Ujjayi breath. We're almost to the end of our engaged practice, and we'll have the ultimate pose of ease and relaxation. But until then, tune in with the alignment of your body, the length of your spine, the stretch down through your fingers. And bring your right foot onto your left thigh. Right arm comes out to a T. And your left hand helps to bring the knee across your body over to the left. Keep that right shoulder in contact with the floor. And you can use the left hand to massage the foot or the leg and the knee out towards your left. Again, you can look over to your right or up to the sky or over to your left. Whatever feels good for your neck. Stay in tune with the breath, in tune with the alignment, avoiding that left knee because it's the weak joint and you want to protect it. And knowing that you're putting your hip back in place, as well as the digestive and massaging benefits of a twist on your abdominals and your organs and muscles. Nice stretch all through the right side of the body. 2 more breaths. Gently bring your right knee back up. Right foot meets the left. Return to your mat mountain. Engage your Ujjayi breath. 3 or 4 counts. each inhale and each exhale. If you can hear yourself breathe, you know you're on your way. This next exercise is the series of boat poses. It's not the full extension boat that so many of our classes offer, but more like a canoe. I'll show you how it looks, and we're going to do 3 to 5 of them. Okay, so I encourage everyone to try 3, and if you still have it in you, join me for the last 2. It's going to look like this. On an inhale, you'll come up onto your tailbone, and your fingers are going to match your toes. You're going to keep your spine long, and you're going to look down at your toes. And at the top of your breath, you're going to hold for 3 to 5 counts, and then exhale back down. Okay, so here we are. Ujjayi breath, mat mountain. Tune in with your transverse abdominis. Keep your shoulders relaxed, and your spine will be long. Okay, so take a breath in, take a breath out. Come up as you inhale, fingers, and then hold the breath at the top, 3 to 5 counts. Fingertips in line with the toes. Exhale back down. Ujjayi breath. Notice your heart. Notice your breath. Notice your shoulders. We're going to do it again. On your next inhale, come up. Hold the breath at the top. And exhale, release. Fingers down at the sides, pointing towards the toes. Ujjayi breath brings you back to regulation, regularity. Coming up for number 3 on your next inhale, rise up. Whatever it takes, and hold the breath at the top. Keep the gaze at the toes, the spine long. Exhale that down. Very nice. We get 2 more optionals. So if you're ready, first tune in with your mat mountain, your breath, the alignment of your neck. Even though this is an abdominal workout, we often allow other muscles to pick up the slack, which just means we need to focus more on the abdominals. So oftentimes the shoulders might get tight, the neck might get a little strained. So you got it in you. On your next inhale, rise up. Hold the breath at the top, 3 to 5 or more counts if you have it. And exhale back down into that mountain. There she goes. Cultivate Ujjayi breath. Try to come back to center line, to gentle, to normal. And our final one. When you're ready, inhale up. Hold the breath at the top. And exhale back down into mat mountain. Spend the next 4 or 5 breaths coming back to regularity, homeostasis. It's a lot of words for a sense of calm and ease, a balance. And then when you're ready, move into your Shavasana. In a traditional Shavasana, the feet come about mat width apart. Toes flop out to the sides. And you can work your way up from here. The shins can grow heavy. You can always micro adjust so that there's as little strain as possible in each muscle. Gravity and the bones are doing the work. And it's been proven in the yoga world that once you come up through all the bones and muscles, arms out to the sides, maybe 45 or more degrees, palms face up, when the spine is supported in its optimal curves. The shoulders like to be away from the ears and center so that the chest can open and we can breathe more easily and fully and gently. And our muscles here are doing the least amount of work. Through the practices of asana, throughout our Pawanmuktasana Series II and other yoga asana classes, the mind and the body have been working together, using up energy and allowing a centering, focused sensation to come through and allows us to come into a relaxation, a stillness. An ability to let thoughts and energies come and go, to flow in and out with the breath. I invite you to let the breath grow deeper into your being. Use your mind's eye to see the breath branching out towards your limbs, your fingers and your toes, to wind in and out of crevices, to completely nourish every inch of your body. Let your body grow heavy and your spirit grow light. If you find your mind begins to wander, bring it back to the breath. On your next inhale, draw energy with the breath into your fingers and toes. Over the next couple of breaths, invite movement with that energy. And let that movement work up its way through the limbs. And then the body, as you find a stretch, very gentle, very mindful. You can bring your knees into your chest as you prepare to roll onto one side of your body. Pausing here for at least 2 breaths. This is the transition, the moment of preparation, of transition. Let the top hand be your support. When you're ready, come up into a seated position. Drawing some breaths of awareness of your surroundings and your position in the room. Drawing some breaths of gratitude for the work that your body has done in this practice and the work that your body does for you every moment of every day. In preparation for your journey, I hope this practice has served you. The light in me acknowledges and honors the light in you. Namaste.